I'm not going to propose to a guy ever.
And tomorrow,
where do you live, Henry?
Are you in Lagos?
I want to
Are you in
get
Nigeria?
married.
How will you not feel
Just like
attached
a
after
must.
sex?
Yeah.
Like, no.
About every parent becomes the police
Okay.
in the lives of their kids.
Proposing is not like me. I will just come direct like you guys do and open one ring. And
Okay,
no.
so
Guy, never reach me will marry me.
that's like you popping question.
There was a communication, something happened. So there's something like accidental
I'm
pregnancy.
working more than 12 hours because I'm going to wake earlier than him to take care of the children.
Do you know you are naturally, supernaturally built that way?
yeah,
Do you know? Do you know?
Imagine what
God has divinely made you like that.
Imagine.
And it's an excellent evening from here. All of us in this very rainy season. And well, we are hoping we can set on fire to the rain this season and keep you warm, especially with our conversations. You're welcome to the lounge. My name is Melanie Ishola. I know it's been a few days. I missed you as much as I missed this. And I think I cannot even hide it. Much as Margaret may say, what is it? She's all about the food. That's okay. But that's my way of welcoming you back, because this time it's me and you, baby. Of course, the lounge comes on every Thursday evening by 5 p.m. And Margaret Osazu has been doing such a terrific job. And I'd sit somewhere in my home and watch along and pout and eat while I watch. And the likes of Apampa have made it onto this show a number of times, and they have made brilliant conversations. That said, you are welcome. My name is Melanie Ishola, and as always, Margaret Osazuwa joins in on the lounge.
Hi. Hello.
And we have the Mr. Steve's 101%.
It's plenary.
Apampam Olani on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great to be back.
But let's talk about your choice of the specs, like
What's
why you
happening?
decided to just,
What's
bring
going
yourself
on?
all out.
It's the season of Steve. So
Oh shit!
it's good to,
Nice.
Who
look.
are you not to be like your Steve's uncle,
I be
Mr.
now.
Farouk Oreagba? No, for real, you ask yourself, is it about the cigar? Is it the person of Mr. Farouk? Is it the horse? Is it the attire? Is it the freckles on his face? Because everything just combines to give us.
100%.
It was point.
It's a complete package.
I know.
Yeah, complete.
I know.
Very
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So great to have you. And today we are considering a very hot topic, I would say. And now it's interesting because at the same time, we are also able to receive your call and have you contribute on the program today. To go quickly into the topic for the day, we're discussing engaged to a girl I gang raped in school. Should I confess my involvement? I go again. Engaged to a girl I gang raped in school. Should I confess my involvement? In a manner of speaking, back here in Nigeria would say, it's not me in Jesus' name. Actually, it's the topic. It's not me in Jesus' name. Okay, and so you get a beautiful opportunity to join us to discuss this very shortly, and you're able to call us in on 091-3373-4592. Now, I'm throwing the ball very quickly to Margaret's court, because then she's able to drive this story in a manner that we understand and fully comprehend.
So it's funny how you have come back and you're still stressing me.
Hey,
This
Margaret,
is what I get.
that's because I missed
She's
you.
all for the food.
That's because I missed you.
Okay, so quickly let's get into the story.
That's right.
So there were two girls. They were coming back from wherever. We're going to school, and they were privileged to take a downfall bus because it was not
What a
Uber.
privilege.
And they would have trekked now. They were privileged,
yeah, that's true.
to take a downfall bus, and they started having conversations in the bus. The first girl was saying that the way cultists take over the school and they rape girls and they kill people, that she thinks that if they even try it with her, that's the first friend, that if they even try it with her, anyway, she has nothing to lose because she's not even a virgin, so maybe just for a while she'll be traumatized and that's it. So she told her friend that, as for you, in fact, they will finish you because you have refused to break it. You are sure carrying this virgin thing on your head. you know, and they just had like very lame conversations. This first girl in question wasn't even talking. It was just her friend. But it's just that the both of them were involved.
That's right.
Now, there were two guys in the vehicle that were cultists, per se. You will know now. How would you know? And at the end of the day, the guys went into their cabals, had a conversation with their guys, and they decided that they were going to deal with the girls. Now, from the first girl that spoke, obviously they knew that one, if they trace her, they cannot find her. To raise her lifestyle. But the second girl, you know, she had a triangular lifestyle. She was a hostel, school. Then there's this statue in their school. I'm trying not to mention the name of the school. There's this statue in their school that she always sits close to. So she was seated there at the statue. And that is where she's always seated. So they monitored her all the way down to her hostel lodge. And once they monitored her for a week plus, they decided to carry out their plan. Now, according to the guy, because this is not my story, apologies, I need to put that disclaimer out there. It's not me, in Jesus' name. This is a particular guy's story, and you know. So he says that. So he and these two guys traced this girl all the way to her room, and then in the dead of the night, around maybe 1 a.m., 2 a.m. ish, they went into her room, and they found that she was really sleeping peacefully. You know, that kind of peaceful sleep, like you have not offended anybody. So why would I be? Why would my heart be palpitating? You know, she was sleeping peacefully. And the guy said, even with the way he saw her sleep, he felt like they shouldn't do it. Let's just go. But unfortunately for him, there were three. And how is that thing that they used to say? Help me say Yoruba word.
What's that?
Arababa kung. They are laughing.
Body don't fool.
Thank you.
But I really do not understand that concept. But let's move on.
That was what he said. You know, and the guys were telling him that no, that they've come all the way, they must do what they want to do, and they told him that, oh yeah, it should be fast. So he was the one that did the do first. Then after him, the two guys did it, and then they left. But for somebody that has done a lot of damage to people, he said this one thing that he did cost him his peace, and he felt really bad about what he had done, and so he continued to trace the girl still up until after they finished, just to see how she was doing. And he said the once smiley girl that he used to see just seated at the statue with her books was no longer smiling. Her hair was rough, she was looking disheveled, she wasn't looking herself, and then he tried as much as possible to be friends with her. So now it comes from the good morning, good afternoon, you're not smiling today, is everything okay? And then she would just look at him and not see anything. So he continued like that, and they suddenly became friends, you know. And after a while in school, I think the police raided their schools.
Such a friendship, really.
You know, police raided their schools, their school rather, and they killed a lot of people. Cultist, per se, he survived. He was one out of the many that survived. So a few years later, he meets this girl at a restaurant, and they get talking. And somehow old feelings just, you know, come back to play. And of course, after a few dates, she tells him her experience.
Old feelings, it was the only one.
No,
who
just
was
yeah. This
the
girl, no, not at all. So after a while, they started dating. You know, since they went to the same school, she finished as the law student. You know, they had lots in common, and they got talking and they started dating. And the guy said, she said she wanted to tell him something about her life. You know, something that she never planned to do, and the reason why she put her head in her book that she will pass and become a first-class student. She wanted to do law by all means. Then she told the guy her story and said this was what some people did to her, but she wasn't opportune to see their faces because actually those guys blindfolded her. She wasn't opportune to see their faces. That if she finds them, that even as it is, she will do everything in her power to ensure that the wrath of the law and even the wrath of her hands, you know, she will land it on them and all of that. And the guy was like, oh, okay. He didn't confess. They continued dating. They were in love. They continued dating to the point.
We're not permitted to have opinions here.
Not at all.
Okay, please.
No, they continued dating, and he proposed.
And she said yes.
And she said yes.
Okay.
And then they got the family involved. You know, Trad is coming now. And brother is sitting down and thinking, what can I do? Should I tell her? Should I not tell her? Now that we have done it and we're about to get married, I really love her. I really want to spend the rest of my life with this lady. Should I tell her or not? That's what bettered that question. Should I confess my involvement? Now, it's funny how some people said, this was something he threw out in the open. It's funny how some people said, since you're the first person that committed the act, don't tell her, Jerry, just move on.
It's also funny how when we discussed this, light-hearted, and then somebody in our newsroom said, since it was just going to continue from where he left off.
God, I beg.
I mean, but essentially just to make light of the conversation. But there is no way we want to look at this, Margaret, because what we're talking about here is rape.
Yeah.
And it is violence. And it is life-altering. In the instance of the story that you just narrated, we saw how this had altered the course of this lady's life. According to the guy's story, the once happy, joyous girl now became so sad
of herself.
and entered a shell. And eventually, I think life happens. She eventually, possibly never outgrew it, because pains, trauma of that magnitude, you sometimes live through life with them.
I agree.
And so she comes in a relationship under the pretense. Now, this is me retelling your story. Under the pretense that she was dating a one-time old schoolmate whom she was barely even a friend with. They were just mere,
let's say, buddies,
acquaintances. Just you greet me, I say hello, you say hi, we move on, right? We're not fighting, but we barely even know enough of each other. And then later in life, they would meet, and then they would strike conversations that would lead to a relationship. From the relationship, it would lead to, would you marry me? And then I would say, he's such a fine boy. Oh, he has great character. I like him. And I would say yes. But I think the lady in question only likes an idea of him and doesn't quite really know the person or the man who had proposed to her. Now, I may be wrong. And it's the whole essence of this conversation. Because I feel this is a huge portion of the life of the guy. Not just the fact that he had raped or participated in raping her, but equally that he was a cultist, and that I'm assuming this lady in question was not even aware of.
Of course, definitely.
And now, maybe a lot of these things actually get to happen and people don't even know through life.
True.
Right? But then again, how do you advise that this lady in question in the future copes with the realization? Because, as they say, there is only one thing that doesn't hide, and it's the truth. A Yoruba proverb says, if life goes 20 years, that one day the truth will catch up with it. This, in a manner of speaking, Margaret, is the truth catching up with him. Now, not just with the woman, with him. But now, how are we sure that the truth, someday, possibly they run into one of the other guys whom he thought was
dead
and isn't, possibly took cover after such police clamped down on cultism activity in the school. And then goes, you married her. And then comes the story. Apampam, how can you retell Margaret's story in your own words? Because Margaret made it look like, this is just a very good guy. I mean, I know.
He's not a good guy.
It's just because at the end of the day, you sort of cleaned his character because you just feel like, he fell in love.
I didn't clean it. I heard this over the radio, and this was exact. I quoted him verbatim.
Right.
Maybe in some things I was a bit dramatic, but I quoted him verbatim. This was exactly how he expressed himself. He said with so much emotion. I felt bad. Like, I literally was like, oh my God, what would you do? If I just put myself in the position, I was like,
really do
you better tell her. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, at this instance, the guy clearly knew what he was getting himself into. I mean, how would you suddenly turn from a rapist to a lover?
Carry on.
I mean, if judging by the story that we narrated, I mean, the events and the chronological happenings show that the guy, of course, followed it through. I mean, trying to know, how she was doing.
Yeah.
And from there, started talking. you lost contact, came back, you met her, single, started dating. I mean, all this why he must have thought about it that, okay, I'm dating the lady I raped.
Yeah. My goodness.
So should he tell her?
Of course. I mean, you don't want to put yourself in a situation whereby you guys get married and at the end of the day, the lady finds out the truth. She will be very broken.
Broken. You're making light of the word.
Yes.
Yes, she'll be
Because
very broken.
I think it could kill
It could
her.
kill her. You're making light of the word. Broken.
Because I feel there's a woman who wanted revenge.
Yes, so she's still
Yeah.
seeking
So
it.
now, not only did she not lose the opportunity for the revenge, at this time she's finding out they probably have
married.
children together. She's now married with and had children with the man that defiled her.
True.
Or one of the
Man.
men that defiled her years back. I cannot comprehend this, Margaret.
No,
I cannot.
it's not something. If you can comprehend it, then you are literally not a human being.
Trust
Maybe
me,
you're an
I
alien,
cannot.
or maybe you're an alien, you know, or a robot, something. Because even when I heard the story myself, it took a while for me. I had to first digest the story, and I'm sure that for everybody that I told, I was saying all sorts of things. You know what? Because I just looked at it that first of all, what I got from the entire scenario that he painted was one. We as human beings, we need to stop talking in certain places. It's a problem. We might not see it as the first problem, or it's a very, very big problem. You sit in a bus and the person you're speaking to is just here. And even the driver can hear your conversation. We don't need it.
Well, in this instance, it wasn't the lady's fault.
You don't understand
Discretion
this.
or disclosure.
No,
we need to exercise a lot of
yes,
discretion.
it's not her
Unfortunately,
fault.
It's not even this girl.
Yes, it's
that
not her
she-
fault.
Yeah. Sorry.
Unfortunately, it's not her fault. But did the conversation happen or not?
I mean,
It happened.
I feel terrible, Margaret.
And it could have been somebody else.
Because
Yes.
we clearly could have said it could have as well been the girl who in the first place used her mouth to put the friend in this problem. But there's no way to ever justify
yes.
rape.
True.
You
So
know,
whether it was this girl
Or
or
that
the other
girl, it
the rape in
happened.
the first place was bad enough that it happened. But it happened.
And the truth is, on the surface level, they are not supposed to be where they are.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's not supposed to be a love story off the back of that.
at all.
incident.
At all.
I don't even know why he went ahead to even date her.
Like-
they now propose.
So in my opinion, and I'm sorry, I'm hardly ever judgmental on the lounge, but I think this is one of such episodes of the lounge, or maybe it's the energy of having rested a few weeks and being back after then, because
Let
I
us breathe.
feel, yes, you're not gonna breathe. Now, because I feel that relationship in the first place, I think the guy was being inconsiderate. Is what I think. I think love just goes beyond feelings.
true.
I think feeling part of the love there is what you would say is the there are these different types of love: agape, there is the filial, there is the eros. I think maybe he allowed the eros somewhat take over, and possibly also the curiosity of what becomes of her,
yeah.
off the back of how bad he felt after the actual deed that they did. But I'm thinking, for love of this lady, it should have been somewhere in the background, but never truly really earned a spot in her life. Because I do not think that his involvement in and with her life doesn't further complicate the woman's life.
First of all, I think that their meeting again was a coincidence. Then dating afterwards was not a coincidence.
It wasn't.
You know, because I'm looking at the entire scenario and I'm saying, okay, if you're walking up to her now and you're having a conversation with her, and then afterwards she's opening up to you. Now, first of all, I think he walked up to her to see if she still has like any, if those, if she still feels somewhat
there is
betrayed by
is
what
a leftover
happened,
of
if
the
there's leftover of
trauma
the
of
trauma.
Then
you
he should
know?
have left
No,
it
maybe
there
I
and
think that was
move
the
on.
first thing that he thought of. And then going to see her and they got talking and then she opened up to him. And they continued like that. I think that after that he should have withdrawn. But first of all, he felt pity. And he felt bad for what he had done. And what he felt was the only way that he could heal her, as a healer that he is, after causing such damage, was data. There are people like that.
True.
That is the only way they think. You know, she was broken, she was vulnerable before him. Now, she was talking to somebody that she felt did not even know what she had gone through.
Yeah.
And that was the way he answered it. That was the way he spoke to her. He didn't speak to her like, oh, I understand your pain. He spoke to her like, I'm here for you.
You know, I truly want to bring
And she
humanity.
found solace in him.
Yes, and she would.
Yes.
And it's only normal, right? And again, who knows what part of the information the man has regarding the girl that came to play in the way the guy now interacted with the girl at the start that led to the girl literally also falling for the girl. I feel that there could be some manipulation in this. I do not know how we want to truly, it feels like it's an innocent, you know, sort of coming to love him. But I feel because he's the only one in this situation, in this scenario, that knows the whole truth. And
nothing but the truth.
The girl doesn't.
True.
No, but now, Apampa, I feel like there's been a lot of women, you know, lens in viewing this story. But let's take the sentiments out. Let's take the emotions out. I'd like to hear from a guy point of view. And for me, I'm interested in, should the guy in the first place have gone ahead to date
The girl.
the girl? Or should they have been in the background and just watch on and enjoy the grace, the privilege of being enough in her life just to watch? Because I think that's enough gift. Or, and this is the third one, apologies is coming like a whole lot, like a mouthful. And this is the third one. Should he have ever thought of dating her?
Well, to answer the first question, like I said earlier, they are not supposed to be at that point.
It's a situation.
I mean, in a normal circumstance, it should be behind the bars. You understand? And I'm sure if the lady knew those that gang raped her, I mean, she wouldn't be talking to
She
me.
wouldn't.
Maybe they won't even be alive.
She wouldn't be talking to me.
Life in prison.
So that's why I said,
it's terrible.
like someone would say, we know what we are doing. The guy knew what he was doing. See, seriously, if you feel pity for someone and you believe that you've made a huge mistake on your part, what you should have done, maybe, of course, he was lucky not to have been arrested or been caught. What you should have done is seek personal restitution and hope that the girl is fine.
Yeah.
Now, you trying to find out what's happening to her, I don't think is necessary.
Can you restore her joy? Can you bring back the virginity you took?
I don't think it's necessary. You opening up a channel of communication with her, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think so.
So do I not, because I mean, I did say, and I put a disclaimer out, that it seems this is the judgmental side of me that has come on the show today. I feel like there is too much of selfishness
True.
in the story. In the first place, you were selfish enough to take a very loose comment out on a very innocent girl. In the second place, you were selfish enough to now later discover and locate this girl. I want to be so involved in her life. I want her to belong to you all of her life. What right do you have? What gut do you have?
I think it's
now
just
they would
another
argue that
setting.
love happens. What about that love happens?
I mean, that's what he said. He said he's in love.
No, I don't believe that is love, because in hindsight, the lady is blindsided in all of this.
She doesn't even have an idea.
What she's seeing is a schoolmate that, of course, one way or the other, we find ourselves, and here we are talking, we are dating. She's not seeing the other side. She's not seeing the rapist. You understand? Maybe the guy can claim that, oh, I truly love this lady. Maybe he can claim that way. But for the lady, once she knows that I'm dating a rapist, the love is gone.
Something changes.
So we can say that, we can conclude by saying that he has not been transparent with her.
True.
He's living a lie.
Yes.
True.
Yes, I think so.
He's living a lie.
Yes, I think so. So very quickly, we'd like to take comments from you. We'd like to know what you are thinking. And we've been talking engaged to be married to a girl I gang raped back in school. Should I confess my involvement? Feel free to reach us on 09133 73 4592. And I'm checking now to see if you are already reaching out to us. Do well and call and let's know what your thoughts are regarding this story. We think this is a really pathetic story.
Very sad.
Some that you would only wish ends in the realm of imagination. Because indeed, it's bad enough what you did. We think, personally, and I said I'm passing judgments. I said that I would expect that the best judgment for this sort of a guy would be just to stay alive enough, at a distance enough, good enough, healthy enough, safe enough from the woman, and watch her flourish in her life. And do all you could, even in your power. Just as you spoke on restitution, right? Restitute to God and pray. And you know, part of restitution is actually confessing.
But you see,
Confessing wrongdoing.
the funny thing is, you know, a whole lot of these things will still affect her. I mean, he has to confess. If he confesses, there's a problem.
See,
If he does not if he does not confess, there's also a problem.
What are the likely
Now,
problems
if he
confesses?
confesses, yeah, he's going to wake up the beast in her. She's going to become something that he never envisaged that even a human being could be,
Hates
and he
him
deserves
as
it.
much as she ever
Yes.
loved him.
And you see, you know what we even hurt the most? You see, all these ones that were saying, let's just say they were about to date when he was going to confess. No. I beg to say that, what if they already had intercourse?
Right.
What if they're already emotionally attached? What if she had grown to love him like nothing?
Okay, please do well and reach us again.
How do you explain it?
All right.
see, on this